All right. I think we're recording. Continuing on. And ink. I just got my my Robert Crumb pen up. Because I'm using that on another project. Let's go back to the rusty nib. Good old rusty nib. And this is page 17. We're getting pretty close to the end of this particular story. This is the second part of the fight. A battle scene in comics, is pretty elastic. You can do it all in one panel, or you can take 20 pages if you really want to. In this case, we're doing it all. We're going to handle it all in 2 pages. There will be some maybe it's 2 pages plus 1 panel. There's one more panel. No, in my mind, I think I have 2 more panels.
Well, let's see if I can.
Which I'll be drawing. You can see Centaur's lost the arm at this point. But it's not slowing him down at all. He's got a mission. That's what we can. Whoops. I'm looking at how I can do this. I think it could do it this way. And I think we're good. I tried something new last night, and I'm thinking I'm going to start incorporating that in maybe as a thing. And what that was is I'm hand lettering, but it's basically tracing. I'm tracing my font. But it's still hand lettering. I mean, well, even with hand lettering, you're often putting it on via a stencil or something similar, using a lettering guide, like the Ames lettering guide. They used to have the Charlton A Machine lettering, which is basically a stencil type lettering. I'm looking at this chest plate and I don't think I drew it correctly. Let's erase and try again. I think I skewed it over way too much. Alright, let's see. If this is the top, right? And this is the center line. Then that's where the chest plate's going to have to go, right? So let's put it there. Just as Superman has his iconic S, and Green Lantern has the lantern symbol, Scimitar has his own symbol. It's a good idea to think in terms of icons when you're designing characters, immediately recognizable. Like at this point, if we had a lineup of robots shown from the neck down, the way I would draw it would show the chest plate, and you would know exactly which one was Scimitar. So we could even do some pretty cute effects with that. The more I mess with this character, I really like him. I'm looking into his mouth, and I think I've screwed that up. I want to do this sort of you know how Doctor Doom has this sort of inside the mouth technology bit. There we go. Can't see a lot of what's going on behind. Oops. There we go. I like span, but I want spang with an exclamation point. I really like how I drew that too, so I'm going to keep it. Spang. I like the jagged, but I didn't like the line weight. Okay, boom. All right. Now looking at this hand, you can see. Oh, I thought I'd put the thumb on the wrong side. The thumb is on the correct side. That's just part of the hand. So let's make sure that we draw that correctly. I'm trying to remember what. He's got the shredded uniform on this side. Really important to get the gun right. So let's bring up a reference. There's our reference. We're looking at the other side of the gun. It's flipped over here. Been knocked out of his hand. In storytelling terms, this is a super important detail. All right. May take out the little circular part. This is supposed to be kind of a sci-fi gun. Oh, I did it backwards. Here's the area. All right, now Have we got it? I think we got it. Okay. Now, what about the claw? Here's the claw. Top part of the claw is the sharp part. The bottom part of the claw kind of comes like this. That's what the rest of the claw kind of fits into. Oh, shucks. Mhm. Okay. And this claw forearm, it's only his right hand. And then there's these cables that come out underneath, like this. On the other arm, it has the wrist part, but not this part. However, it does have like a torn uniform. Something like that. Okay. Is this looking too chaotic? I'm not sure. I think it will resolve itself a little bit more once we start adding tones. Like we'll have a much better sense of which character is which. We can also kind of halo out one figure from the other figure. Make sure that the figures are kept separate. And then once you got that, kind of got a lot going on here. All right. Shoulder plates for our bad guy. Oof, give me an eraser. Just as we did for Cinotaur's chest plate, I've got the bad guy has his own distinctive chest plate, and his is based on Clawtron. If you know what Clawtron is. Plenty of shattered debris. All right, it's a good start. Let's go for the speech bubbles. Okay. It's looking pretty good. I think that we can probably throw in some. I can do a partial focus lines. Let's do that. I've got a focus lines layer right here. Let me bring back my rusty nib and bring back my drawing guide. Perspective, throw it right there. Maybe right there. All right. When I say partial, I mean just from the top layer. Like I won't have too much down here. I will have it like right here. By the way, I'm looking at it. This is what I already used for some tones, but not the regular tones, just the darker ones. So you don't have to go all the way. With the focus lines. You can kind of do partial, which is what we've done. All right, stick the pencil out, see what it looks like. It's a start. And now I just have these two very small panels left to do. Oh, all right. Let's go ahead and do some tones and try not to worry too much about. We'll do some tones down here. Whoops. Some tones for the color. Tones in the shape of a vignette. And we can be pretty subtle about it. We don't have to go overboard. The panel is already kind of speaking for itself. And all we really wanted was that nice sort of vignette outline that frames the action. Well, let's take a look at things that we should get rid of now. Anything that falls outside of the figure. Anything that goes places we didn't expect it to go. Well, it's looking okay for right here. I'll probably do a little bit over here on the gun. Alright, aka duotone. That leaves us with these two very small panels. And you can see this is a Luminar in the background. She looks on in horror, and then she grabs the dropped gun. You can see that this has the potential for ending this battle very quickly, right? Alright. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and tune in tomorrow for more comics. There'll be more comics every day. And we're also probably going to be continuing to work on our zine. Let me check out what I've got here so far. I've gotten three pages done so far. It's an 8-page zine. What's interesting about this zine, to me anyhow, is it's hand lettered. And but the trick here is that I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I used a font, but then I changed the font to raster, and then I letter over the font. So I don't follow the font exactly. There are places where I go away from it. I don't know if you can see that very closely where I escape the font. It's not lettered very closely, but it's the same as like using an Ames lettering guide or a stencil for letters. Anyhow, see you next time.